Hello, welcome to the Governor's Mansion Double Parlor. I would like to draw your attention to a photograph on a table here in the double parlor. The two gentlemen pictured here, there is a very unique story about them. The gentleman seated in the chair is the Grand Duke Alexis of Russia. The gentleman reclining with the rifle is none other than George Armstrong Custer. The story behind these two gentlemen is that they were the first official guests to be received here at the Governor's Mansion in 1872. The Grand Duke Alexis had come to the United States for a 3-month goodwill tour. The United States had just a few years previously purchased Alaska from Russia. While the Grand Duke was in the United States, one of the things that he really demanded that he wanted to do was to go on a buffalo hunt. So General Sheridan assigned Colonel George Custer to act as his tour guide and take him on a buffalo hunt. They boarded a luxurious train in the east and traveled westward to the plains of Nebraska. There they met up with none other than William Buffalo Bill Cody, who had arranged the hunt for them. After a successful hunt in a grand time in Nebraska, they reboarded their train and headed back east. They made a short stop in our adjoining state capital, Topeka, Kansas, where they visited a photographer's studio and several pictures were taken, including this one. When they arrived in Jefferson City, there was a large, excited crowd to greet their train. They had arranged for 7 carriages to bring them to the Governor's Mansion. The finest carriage, which was pulled by 4 white horses, was on loan from the local funeral parlor. They boarded the carriages at the train depot, traveled up the hill to the state capitol, where they were greeted by the General Assembly. They had a brief visit there, then returned to the mansion, where Governor B. Gratz Brown hosted a fine luncheon for the entourage. After lunch, the gentlemen all retired to the 3rd floor of the Governor's Mansion, where they had a nice visit over a box of fine Havana cigars. The next day, January 24th, Governor B. Gratz Brown and his First Lady hosted a grand ball for the Grand Duke and his entourage. The crowd was immense. It has been estimated that there was anywhere from 1,200 upwards to 2,000 people that attended. Then the next day, the Grand Duke and his entourage left the mansion, boarded their train, and headed back easterly. Next, I would like to talk to you about this magnificent punch bowl and its under tray. The punch bowl is solid sterling silver as well as the tray. It had been tradition for states in our country that had battleships named after them to furnish silver for those battleships. This beautiful punch bowl was given by the state of Missouri citizens to the Department of Navy for the first USS Missouri battleship that was commissioned in 1903. That battleship served during World War I and later was decommissioned in 1919 and scrapped. The punch bowl, along with other silver pieces, was put into storage, then brought out of storage and put on the battleship that we're most familiar with, USS Missouri BB-63. The USS Missouri, also known as Big Mo, is where the Japanese surrendered themselves at the end of World War II. Then later, the USS Missouri BB-63 served in the Korean conflict, the Vietnam War, as well as the Gulf War. And now that wonderful battleship is a floating museum in Pearl Harbor. In the year 2010, the punch bowl left us for a short period of time. The Department of Navy contacted the Governor's Mansion and requested the punch bowl be returned to them. Of course, the first question was, what are you going to do with it and will we get it returned? Well, they explained that it would be used for the christening ceremony for the newest USS Missouri. So the punch bowl was taken to Groton, Connecticut, where it was used for the christening of the newest USS Missouri, a Virginia-class attack submarine designated SSN 780. Thank you all.